such as protest, especially well-organized protest, can lead to a regime change. Protests that are well organized, I will emphasize on that. So, underline the word well organized protest. And if protests are not well organized, they can be catastrophic, and they pose as a fear mechanism that the enemy will use to make sure that the society do not participate in protest again. We've seen protests being done. The last time they were done was it in Harare. The way they were organized, people were mobilized, centered in one place, and I think it was also reported to the police, and it was easy for police to quash those protests. So as you see already, the proxies of ZANU PF have begun to speak against these protests, the 31st July. On the previous broadcast, I was asking myself, why you have a challenge today, you give 20 or so days, more than 25 days, you arm the enemy to actually say, okay, I'm going to be protesting against you after these days. It's easier for that enemy to actually organize against you in terms of everything. That is why you see Marakashi, as well as also some proxies of ZANU PF masquerading as bishops. Already they have started to speak against this protest. Let's hear this. He calls himself Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga. Let's listen to him, what he said relating to the protest. I was just, okay, let me check something. The video appears to be gone. Is this? No, I don't think this is the person. But I was, oh yes, this is the video. Let me check, yes.
July. To demonstrate it's your constitutional right. But you know, for exercise I was kurambizwa kuita ma demonstration, but not to kuratidze chinhu one. Kune vanhu vari kurarama nekuopoza nyika. Havasi kuopoza nyika, ndava nemwoyo yavanhu pamwoyo yavo. Vari kuopoza nyika, vari kuopoza government. Ivo vari kutora opposition ivowo senzira yavo yekugutisa kana kufutisa matumbu avo. But ona kuti vari kuzviita at the expense of ordinary Zimbabwean citizens. Zvobva zvaita kunge vane mwoyo navanhu, gambisirwa vane mwoyo nematumbu avo. Literere kwazvo.
So just imagine, this is a man masquerading as a bishop. This idiot.
Vanhu patakaita ma-public hearings. Ini ndakatoshaya mukana kwakwete complex. Ndakashaya mukana. Ndikadomirizika kuti wakomana dai ndawaniswa mukana but ndakaushaya. But handina kurara, ndakabva ndaenda ndikamukira kuEpworth. Pandakapiwa mukana wekuexpressa nekusubmita zvandaifungira zvakanakira Camp 3. But iwewe wakanga uri kumba kwako wakagara, hauna chawakaita. Ndokubva Camp 3 yasainwa into law. Iwewe ndopa wakuchiya manje wakuti vanhu toda kudemonstrata. Waidii kudemonstrata payakagazetwa. Waidii kudemonstratwa pakaitwa ma-public hearings. Yakaiswa muparliament, makadii kudemonstrata riri muparliament. Rakaenda kuseneta, makadii kudemonstrata riri kuseneta. Rakangosainwa kunzi ramutemo wato mutemo, ndokubva mati mimi hazviite toda kudemonstrata. Chireka ndikubatsirei. Kune vanhu vachasungwa. Ende panosungwa vanhu kune vanoita mari nekusunga kwako. Hakunyatsokuzi chikwadi chemahara. Kune maorganization izvezvi vari kutoti kana iwewe ukasungwa, ivo vanenge vachipiwa mari nemafunders ari kunze kwenyika. Iwewe hautomboziva chako kusungwa. mhuri yako inotambudzika, mudzimai wako ndiye anotambudzika, vana vako ndo vanorara nenzara. Saka pamwe pacho zvoda kutanga wafunga.
So ZANU PF thrives through fear. You see, they have already had these pronouncements of the 31st of July as the day for protest. But let me tell you, if maybe they are putting putting it that longer to be on the 31st of July because they want to plan, maybe I will give it to them. But if there is no planning and the usual protest would be done in Zimbabwe, whereby the opposition will seek to get a clearance, this is ineffective protest in my view. Effective protest, you don't need even to get a clearance. What clearance for what? Clearance from the person that has violated the law. ZANU PF does not follow the law when they actually wants to do their thing. For example, this act that the Mnangagwa has signed, it didn't follow the law. Why should it be only Zimbabweans who are supposed to follow what is written on paper by ZANU PF, but the very same ZANU PF cannot follow what is written on paper? You see, that is the question. If protest, I support 100%. That's the way Zimbabweans will free themselves. But you don't have. I support protests that would be organized, sporadic protest. Mnangagwa doesn't have enough police officers and even military. If protests are sporadic, for example, in Bulawayo, Makokoba, they are protest. In Shabalala, they are protest. In Jube, in Kulumane, all locations. CPT, not to people to gather in one place so that they can round them up. When they are trying to round others in Makokoba, others make noise in Njube, in Lopengula West, some in Harare, all provinces, people even in rural areas, people protest, barricades the roads. You see, these may be very, very effective. But this one, where you want to go to the regime, ask for a paper. You hear already this evil bishop, how he speaks. This is what ZANU PF will do. They always control Zimbabwe through fear and intimidation. That is how ZANU PF have strived. Through fear and intimidation. How do they instill fear? Through killing. How do they instill fear? Through using state institutions to round up the people of Zimbabwe. So people should understand that these protests are a war itself. You want to change the regime. They are a regime change initiative. A regime change initiative has to be war in character. It doesn't, you don't have to be apologetic. You don't, they don't have to see you also coming. Do you think during the liberation struggle, they will tell Ian Smith who will enter through Victoria Falls on this date? No. The regime was surprised. Even the biggest countries in this day and age, when they are carrying out an operation, you only hear an announcement when the operation is being implemented, surprising the enemy. That these are the only protests that can be effective in Zimbabwe. Otherwise, this one of going to the police, they can simply accept your letter, take your letter and respond the day before and say, no, we cannot allow you to protest because we don't have enough and sufficient. The CIOs would be having another activity which needs police officers, so why don't you postpone? They don't automatically say no. They say, no, we ask you to postpone your event. Already you would have prepared. So if it's protest as usual on the 31st of July, it will not work. But if it's well and coordinated protest, sporadic protest across Zimbabwe, where if they try to stop people in Makokoba, people in Mzilikazi will also protest and actually try to rescue their fellow citizens in Makokoba. If they try, also the next location in Guboyenja would be up also in flames. I can tell you, these would be the most effective protest. Otherwise, if it's these ones where people hold press statement, other state police have not cleared our protest, those ones will not work. But the protests that work are well organized protests. Protests have changed the regimes. We saw the sporadic Arab Springs. They were very, very, very effective. All people went to the streets and said, no, not anymore. We saw it also in Egypt. Everybody went into the streets of Egypt and they were able to change the government. People were sleeping outside until even the security cluster saw that we have no option but to pave way for the will of the people. That is what, of course, the government attempted to kill, but it couldn't kill everyone. Everyone was in the streets, and the people were not getting out of the streets. In Zimbabwe, today we announced protest. Someone would want to go and sell some stuff to come with usual dollar to feed children with a dollar within a day. And the attitude also of Zimbabweans, until we acknowledge that there is a problem and there is no one who can solve our problem but us alone, we will remain actually abused by Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa and ZANU PF proxies. Otherwise, if it's planned, protests are effective in an environment like Zimbabwe. Will there be casualties? Definitely there may be, because the regime will also respond. They enjoy power. Look at the wealth that Zikanandas enjoy in Zimbabwe. They are even buying private planes. They are doing a lot, whilst Zimbabweans are suffering and languishing in poverty. So it depends on how they are planned. If it's the usual protest, it will discourage the people next time. I hope the planners also have this in mind. Otherwise, it would be the usual song. And when the boring song is played over and over, people won't be interested in listening to it through its smell or anything that shows that this is the old song. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stuff. Is signing off.